Okay, so.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So quickly, guys, listen. Tell me a story. Okay. Tell me a story, Monday nights, 7 p.m. downstairs. Invite your friends. But if someone can't make it, or you know someone from a long distance, have them go on my website, and there's a page called Tell Me a Story. And they can just submit the story. So what we're going to do is, you're gonna share any story from your life. Any story. It could be funny and it could be something that was like happy, but the idea is to find the subconscious themes, and those usually come from stories that cause some sort of pain. Whether it's a nail that broke, a frustration, a car, a crash or something. So you share a story. That's the first thing. Then we're going to find the subconscious themes, and we're going to break it down into the origin, which is where it started, and then, yeah, I knew I spelled it. And then, depending on how much time we have, of course, and it's going to take over time, then we're going to hopefully link it to a myth. It could be a fairy tale, some story in literature, some myth, because what are there? No new what?
Stories.
There are no new stories. So if we can find out the story that we're living, Peter Pan, Snow White, the Little Match Girl, Boxcar Children, whatever, then all you do is you go up and you take it to you today. Every story you tell has elements of this. Every story you tell, the way you tell it, the words you use, that is what you are all going to listen for, so that you can help your client unravel and tell them what myth they're living. And then understand the core themes. There's only a certain number of core themes. And what are those themes called?
Archetypes.
Archetypes. Yes. So even if you're the devil, Paola, you only have one part of you that's the devil. Believe it or not, you got the angel in there too. There's only a certain number of archetypes or story characters, etc. So you tell your friends or your family or someone who needs therapeutic intervention, bring a story, or you bring it for them. We'll record. And that's why I have it on the website, because I have a lot of listeners and things that are not local. So within the story, we're going to break it down. And you're going to see that there are only so many number of themes that people have. That's the box. Those are the threads. You know that commercial, "This is your brain on drugs"? Well, this is your brain, I know you laugh, on a box. Our brains are on a box. That's the drug. But what's your drug of choice? Is it victim? Is it being a man? Is it lack of abundance? Is it your family sucks? Are you abandoned? All of the above? All you have is a box that's on drugs. But you have your drug of choice. In a story, we can immediately go to the thread and the drug. Because words and themes and patterns and the way someone tells the story, written is fine. You can get stuff from it, but there's something very dynamic when someone tells their story. The nonverbals, the way they raise their voice or lower their head. In a counseling setting, you get to see those things. I told you before that I actually prefer not to see it. I actually prefer to be on the phone. That's probably a little bit of my narcissism, because of course I'm God and I know it all. But in counseling, all of those things, like who was it whose throat got tight the other day?
Me.
Aniela's, that was a message in the story. We know there's a throat chakra issue, and what health issue is related to the throat?
Thyroid.
The thyroid, and thyroid is related to time. And what was her whole story? She had to be first. So her nonverbal already told us that there was an issue with time, and we can see the thread. That's the beauty. So in a 2 or 3 minute share of a story, like I do, I take a 3-hour class. We break it down and break it down. Knowing stories, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to do a little hypothesis activity. There are no new stories, no new thoughts. Nothing you think is original. No story you read is original. It is fragments and pieces of all those myths that came way, way, way before us all. The thing is, and this is the whole premise of a theory, no new theory that I wrote, but I wrote my own theory that I practice with. I just renamed it. It's like when we tell you to do APA style. You didn't invent those ideas. So write it in your own words, and then go find the originator who had that before you. And I had to do that in my book. I have all these ideas, but I had to go give Nietzsche credit, and I had to go give Jung credit, and I had to go give the guy who invented constellations Hellinger credit. So make new costumes, do whatever you want, but then give credit where credit is due, because there's nothing new. And that's why our psyches are easy to decipher, because all we're doing is telling a story that's already been told. And all you did and she did and you did was change the costume, was change the name, was change the location. So as a therapist, if you understand there's no new story, you can go upstream and strip away the costume, the location, the drama, and strip it to its core, which is what I'm trying to teach you, to get to the original story in fairy tale or myth, literature, whatever. That's what that night consists of. It's a lot of similar to what we do here, but then we can learn, but we can also have fun. And then people can be like, oh my God, how'd you know? How'd you know? Because I want you to become the story investigator. Okay?